Welcome to Breaking Bread, the podcast that takes you on a whirlwind journey through the captivating world of bread and its influential mark on human history. My name is Rachel Parker, your host. Today we're about to plunge into what initially may come across as quite a sticky narrative, but I assure you, it is inextricably linked to our cherished topic, bread. Ready to delve into one of history's most bizarre disasters, the Great Molasses Flood of 1919? Let's get started. So, on a seemingly ordinary day, the 15th of January 1919, residents of the North End of Boston were the unfortunate witnesses of the strangest tragedy ever recorded, gallons upon gallons of molasses rushing through their city streets. This enormous tank, owned by the Purity Distilling Company, burst, releasing a 15-feet-high wave of thick molasses that traveled at a startling pace of 35 miles per hour. The city was brought to its knees with crushed buildings, casualties, and overturned vehicles, a havoc caused by something as far removed from our everyday life as molasses. You might ask, what's this got to do with bread? Well, believe it or not, in the post-World War I period, molasses happened to be a key player in bread production. So this disaster, as peculiar as it sounds, weaves an unanticipated narrative into the history of bread making. Quite remarkable, isn't it? Now try to visualize this. The year is 1919. America is just stepping out from the shadows of the World War, and we're in the busy industrial area in the North End of Boston, teeming with Italian immigrants. The central character in our story, a gigantic tank standing tall at 529 Commercial Street, held more than 2 million gallons of molasses, which was not just essential for the production of industrial alcohol for munitions, but also played a substantial part in food manufacturing, especially bread making. On the fateful day in January, due to the unusually warm weather, the molasses in the tank expanded, and subsequently at around 12:30 p.m., the tank ruptured, causing insurmountable damage to the city. The disaster was immediate and catastrophic, with the wave of molasses powerful enough to sweep people off their feet, crush buildings, and even damage the steel supports of the elevated railway. Imagine your city being held ransom by molasses. This catastrophic event led to changes in industrial safety norms and engineering practices. The legal principle that mandated the accountability of corporations for risks posed by their structures to the public was reinforced. Bringing our story back to bread, the molasses flood throws light on the intricate web of industries that buttress bread production. More than just flour, water, and yeast, several other elements, such as molasses, formed crucial components in bread recipes back then. This incident underlines the intersection of industrial food production and public safety, indicating a shift in history that aimed to make our food supplies safer. As we draw the curtains to this unique, sticky narrative, we are reminded that the evolution of bread is often interwoven with broader historical events in surprising ways. The Great Molasses Flood, no matter how tragic, brought about pivotal safety reforms that touched many industries, including our very own world of bread. If this remarkable tale piqued your curiosity, and you'd like to explore more about the role of sweeteners in bread, or the historical journey of industrial baking, I'd recommend Henry Hunter's Bread, A Journey Through History, Science, Art, and Community. You can find a link to this resource in our show notes, as well as additional materials on the Great Molasses Flood. Do you have any stories about unusual events related to bread ingredients? We're all ears. Send us a message. Your story might become our next big episode. And with that, we conclude this engaging dive into history, with bread being our trusty vessel. This is your host, Rachel Parker, leaving you with a reminder that every piece of bread comes with a slice of history. Keep breaking bread and maintain that curiosity.